image behind me should give it away, and you've got a little bit there, look, as well. So get Googling, why don't you? Okay, so let me just get logged in. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. There we go. Now, I have to warn you, it's very light drizzle down here. If it gets any worse, I've got to go inside the truck. So just bear with me. Okay, skip the adverts. Nobody wants adverts on YouTube. No, I don't want that either. Go away. Okay, we've got Mr. Raw with me on the live stream. Good morning, Simon. Morning, Andy and crew. And Jim K, hello. Good morning, Jim. Did you get my email? Very important, quite urgent. Cheers, mate. Now then, JJ. Morning, morning, Andy and crew. Cheers, JJ. Or Andy, always remember to read the comments first before you try and read them out, so to speak. For James, good evening, Andy and crew. How is everyone doing? Very hot in South Africa. I imagine it is. I have never been to South Africa, but every TV program I see shows it rather warm. So I am very near to the end of this epic trip around the South Island. It's been, as most of them are, a bit of a whirlwind trip. Not a lot of time off, in all honesty. I did set my mind to edit some of my videos while I was away, and I did. There's a couple gone up. You know, obviously they're hidden because these are videos for in the future, so you know you'll have to hang on a bit. And I got, I think, halfway through, maybe 2/3 of the way through the third video, which is another bike now. Finished the first bike pair of videos, on with the second bike, and this second bike has 3 videos because there's an assembly video as well. So I'm just about to finish the assembly video and getting it fired up. But you won't see any of those for, well, most likely years and years down the line. But they'll be interesting. I actually quite enjoyed editing them up, actually. It was good. Really good. So 3,830 odd kilometers into this trip, and I've got about another 850 to go. It is starting to rain a bit now. Sorry, laptop. The phone will be fine. So that's split into 2 days. So I'm just outside Christchurch. Another clue for you. You probably guessed that anyway, because you knew I was staying in Christchurch this weekend. So from here, I've got to actually go inland to... In fact, I'll show you on the map. Bear with me. I'm going to turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Hang on. Almost 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. I'm going to show you on the map. Oh, live stream on live stream. How's that? Right. There we go. So I am here. There you go. There's even more of a clue now. There's Christchurch. Terrible shadow, sorry. And I've got to go down to West Melton. Benjamin, my son, has sent me on a mission to go and collect an e-bike. Now, I have no idea where the e-bike is going to go because the vehicle is quite full, but we'll work it out. Now, while we're on the camera, should we have a little wander around? Because you'll quite like this. I think we can do that, actually. Because the laptop's on the phone. Is there anybody around? Hang on, let's have a look. Is everything going to be safe? Yes. All right, there's nobody around. We'll have a wander. How's this? So, there's more clues as we go further and further along. Now, I visited this place a few years ago. I think I just started with my current employer. And I thought, oh, I'll go down there on a Sunday. Just checking the truck. We'll go down there on a Sunday. Have a wander around, should be interesting. But unfortunately, it goes down. It was quite sad. Got a camera, hello camera. Or is it an alarm? Don't know. But there you go, look. This is the entrance, and it's been closed for a long time. There is a light on, which is quite surprising. But they're not open at the moment. They've been closed for a few years. But I did find their website. So we'll go back to the truck and we'll find their website. There we go. I don't want you seeing the whole truck. Could be used against me. Anyway, too close to the camera on me. Right, that's better. Okay, so obviously you've worked out where I am now, right? So I can show you. Let's see if anybody guessed in the comments. Hang on, turn you around. There we go. Has anybody guessed in the comments? I'm going to read them out. I'll put you back up here for a second. Hang on. There we go. You're clinging onto a ratchet strap at the moment. It's worked out really well, actually. I'll put you on the tripod, and then one of the legs is stuck between a ratchet strap and a DeWalt box. Okay, so Jim K, give me a call after the live stream. Roger day, good buddy. I'll do that. Mr. Rawl, peeing it down in the UK, has been all day. Well, it's literally, it's just very, very light mizzle, we call it in England here at the moment. Federico Espinoza, hopefully that's pronounced correctly. Salutes. This is hello from Argentina. Salutes. I think salutes is hello. Federico, hello from New Zealand. Hang in there. Argentina, long way away. Mr. Rawl, so where are you? Love the roller in the background. I thought that I was driving down the road and I spotted it because there's a junction from the main road, and I was just happened to be looking down the junction, and there it was. The old, I won't say it's a steam roller because it's not steam powered, but it is a rolling machine for the roads. Probably diesel, don't know. It's old. It's really old. In fact, we'll have a little look around it later on. I mean, you'll like that. I mean, that time, men were men when they drove that kind of thing. Purple Monkey 1974. You need to test ride the bike for us to see. I don't think it's in a rideable. In fact, it's not in a rideable condition. That's why Ben's bought it, because it's cheap and it needs fixing. It's an e-bike, and he tells me it's the drive unit, the motor, basically, that's failed, and Ben just happens to have a brand new spare one. Honestly, he has so many bits for e-bikes now. So he's going to fix it up and sell it, which is good on him. You know, make some money out of it, which is what it's all about. Vijayant, how many children do you have, if you don't mind me asking? I have, to my knowledge, in brackets, 3 children. There's Benjamin, my eldest child, who is about 30. I think, oh no, he is 30 now, 30. I've got Charlie Chalk, Charlotte, she lives in Canada. She moved out there after we all moved to New Zealand, and she's living in Nova Scotia, actually. She's 28. And there's Eloise, my youngest daughter. She's down in Queenstown, where I've just been a few days ago. And she's 26. Eloise likes to go mountaineering, climbing mountains and lots of hiking and stuff. She's really into all that kind of thing now. Rock climbing as well. She does a bit of that. Charlotte likes to, she has dogs. She loves her dogs. She does. And she's currently studying at college at the moment as well. And Ben's like me. He likes to fix stuff. He's very fixie orientated, repairing stuff. But one thing that I think Ben's missed out on, and this is only an observation really, is when I was at school, I got to do woodwork O-level. Now, it's a 2-year course, did it in a year, got I think it was a B, and then did a GCSE metalwork, 2-year course, did it in a year, got an A+. Enjoyed that. Enjoyed both of them, to be fair. I think Ben's generation, his schooling didn't do anything like the level of hands-on fixie stuff, making things that I did when I was at school. And I think in some of his skill set, especially his woodwork side, he struggles with, and I wish I had time to show him more. We're doing a bit at home now, building decks and that kind of thing. But yeah, I want to spend some more time with him and just try and raise his skill set a little bit in certain areas. I mean, he's great at welding, he's great at metalwork and all that kind of thing. But I really want him to be as good as me, if not better. That's the whole idea, isn't it? When you pass down your knowledge and then he improves on it. My dad was pretty useless when it came to making stuff. He just didn't come naturally to him. He was crap at making things, and he was crap at fixing things. The only thing he had was a speedboat, not one that you sit in, a model speedboat, and it was either, every time we took it out on the lake, it either caught fire, sank, or blew up, or he crashed it, one or the other. It was just 100% unreliable. But anyway, that was a long time ago. We used to go onto the York University lake. They had a big sort of lake around the campus with a fountain thing in the middle. And all I remember is, I don't think it was that deep, so he was able to wade in and go and get it whenever it broke down. Right, where do we get to? So hopefully, Vijay, that answers you. Honestly, rabbit holes, right? Hopefully that's answered all your questions on that one. Simon, Purple Monkey, he's just recovered from the lake walk last Sunday. What? Okay. John Nuttall, it's behind you. The Transport Museum. It is exactly that. In, where are we? Yaldhurst, just outside Christchurch. And I've never been around the Transport Museum because when I found it, they'd already closed. But if I read some of this out to you, in fact, you can see it. I'll turn you around. Hang on. You want to see this, so you can Google this yourself if you're interested. So let's just bring that down a bit, get rid of some of the shadows. Maybe too far, Andy, too far. There we go. Oh, hang on, my laptop's balanced. So welcome to the Yaldhurst Museum of Transport and Science. The Yaldhurst Museum is closed until further notice. We will update the website, We hope to be open to business in 2025, which would be great. So I'll come back next year, maybe back end of the year, and see if they've actually recovered and got going again. Some information. In the 1960s, Christchurch-born Mr. Jake Cooper had an ambition to build his own museum for the public viewing. After he bought the original family home, built in 1876, and 8 acres of land, he set about just doing that. With an eye for collectibles, the help of local builders, and using his network of associates, Mr. Jake Cooper finally opened his museum, Yaldhurst Transport Museum, on Boxing Day, 1968. How cool is that? It's been around for a long time, so very sad that it had closed. There is still a cafe open, I believe, but that's about it. So there you go. That's basically all of it. There is a gallery. Honestly, live stream galleries, they get me into trouble sometimes, but I think this one should be all right. Oh, yeah, so it's a bit like a mini Motat museum. They start off as one thing, and then they do all sorts of other stuff. So they've always got a typewriter there, like you see. Part of the science thing of how things have changed, communication has changed. But lots of stuff, very cool, actually. Looking forward to having a wander around. That's a nice shed. We could do with that shed at home. Yes, need to build another shed. So there you go, that's it. So maybe, just maybe, once they reopen, obviously they're going to want to get known, right? Oh, you're a long way up. They're going to want to get known. So maybe we can do a live stream, or I can do a video here, having a walk around with a tour guide, and we can film the interior or some areas of the museum and do a walkabout. And then we can put it on the internet for them. For free. What's it cost them a penny? It'll be great. So that's the plan. Maybe next year. Remind me next year. Andy, go back to the museum and see if they're open yet. Okay, bear with me because everything's a bit damp at the moment. I'm waiting for sparks to come out of the laptop. Richard Perry. Hi, Andy and crew. Good morning, Richard. Simon, schools don't even do soldering now. You're kidding me. Obviously too dangerous, right? You know, they could hurt themselves, burn their fingers maybe. George Bunny 90, hello everybody. Good morning, George. Welcome back. I'm just going to bring you down a fraction because I feel like I'm in a hole. There we go. That's a bit better. That works. There we are. Nice. Good morning, George. Connor K. Good morning, Connor. Morning, Andy and crew. Did you see the video I emailed the link for related to the steering and propulsion of the New Zealand survey vessel that sank? I did see the link, Connor. Thank you very much. I did click on the link, but I didn't really watch any of it because I ran out of time. I think I had a phone call or something coming. So I'll watch it on the ferry because I'll have, I won't have time to edit a video on the ferry, and I'm pretty knackered. So things like that. I'll watch it tonight on the ferry. So good segue there. So after I've picked up this e-bike from, where is it? Something Melton Place. Where's my map? West Melton, about 10 minutes down the road. Get that picked up, work out how the hell I'm going to fit it on the truck because there's really no room anywhere. I might have to, I think I'll have to take the wheels out and just try and clamp the frame to the back of the ute somehow. But I've got to protect it, I don't want to scratch it. Ben says, oh, don't scratch the frame. Easier said than done, so. Anyway, from there, I've got to drive all the way up to Picton. Now, that's a long haul drive. It's from here, it's probably 5.5 hours. And then a few breaks on, a couple of stops along the way, so probably 6 hours. I've got to be there at the absolute latest 5:30, but I'm aiming for 5 o'clock latest. Probably get there about 3:30, fingers crossed. And then I can just chill out and go to a pub and have something to eat, you know. And then the ferry is at 6:30. That doesn't come into Wellington until usually about 10:30 in the evening. So it's pretty late. And then we've got to get off the ferry, which is always fun. And then I've got to drive for about an hour over the hill to Greytown. And I'll be staying at the White Swan Hotel. Very nice place, actually. I used to stay in Wellington when I got off the ferry, just straight to the hotel, and that was it, straight to sleep. But it became a palaver trying to park the utes. They're not very well geared up for larger vehicles, the hotels. And at the moment, there's no way it'd fit in their car park. So it's just easier sometimes just to get straight out on the motorway, drive through it. I say motorway in the loosest sense, the main road. Get over the hill, which is really twisty and tight, but it'll be pitch black as well, which will be interesting. Down to Greytown, and they know that I always arrive late, and they just leave the key in the door, and I just let myself in, and we sort everything out in the morning. They're really good down there, and if I had chance to use it this time around, which I don't, they have a fantastic pub-stroke restaurant there as well. Really good. So that's my plan, and then on Monday morning I'll have a bit of a lie-in, because you know I can. My only job on Monday is to get home. That's about probably another 6 hours of driving with stops, because obviously I'm driving commercially, so I have to stick to my driving hours and have breaks every now and again and all that kind of thing. So you know it does take a little bit longer to get anywhere. So I should get home. I'll be going home via Taupo, pick up some tea in Taupo, and then home. So I should be home for about 6:30, maybe. Yeah, probably about 6:30, I would say. So Connor, I will watch that on the ferry, thank you. Roger Heaps, good morning Andy and crew, good morning Roger. Welcome to Yaldhurst. Purple Monkey, school doesn't prepare you for working life. College is where it starts, I think anyways. School used to do. Or certainly the schools that I went to, for the lads. I mean, the girls were actually allowed in the workshop. Obviously, it's quite different nowadays, but they were allowed in the workshop. There was the odd girl, but we didn't have that many in the class. But you know, we learnt woodworking, metalworking. I used lathes. I used the milling machine. We used gas torches and did some brazing and forging and all that kind of thing. And it was cool. And yeah, it was dangerous. I mean, I remember one day turning the gas on and forgetting the little clicky thing to light the gas, and wandered off to go and find the clicky thing to light the gas. And when I came back, I lit the gas, click, 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 and there was this enormous explosion, and this mushroom cloud of flame billowed up into the ceiling, and it burnt off all my eyebrows and my eyelashes. I didn't have a beard then, and some of my hair, and I got an instant tan. I was like red in the face. Like I've been in the sunshine for too long. And I had to go and tell the teacher, Baz, who's passed away now, unfortunately, what I'd done, because he knew exactly what I'd done, and I had to go and admit to it. And I was one of the lead students in the class, and it was quite embarrassing. But we all make mistakes. Yes, we do. Anyway, it was funny though. Looking back, it was hilarious. At the time, I shit myself. Literally. The Giants. I went to the Transport Museum in South Africa. It's so sad to see the state nobody cares how it is now. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, you know, back in the day, these places used to be really popular. I wonder how Motat's doing, because they're basically very similar, although much larger than this museum. And obviously Motat's in Auckland. It's in West Auckland. It was not far from Unitec, where I used to work actually, and I did take my students there now and again for a day out, and that was really good. No other lecturer did that, and they enjoyed it, you know, and they could see where the motor car came from. What was it like back in the day? What was the design like, and how it's evolved over the years? because they had lots of different cars there, and it was really good to see. And it just helped them to get their head around car design and why they now do things a bit different. Because back then, car manufacturers were still learning at what was the best way of, what was the best kind of suspension, what was the best kind of steering setup. You know, I mean, the very first horseless carriages had tillers. They didn't even have a steering wheel. They had a tiller like a boat. Unbelievable. But it, you know, did it work? Well, not very well. So what did they come up with? A steering wheel. You know, evolution of the motor car. It's pretty cool. I learned lots working there. It was good. Really opened my eyes. Tessafun, message retracted. Jim Haynes, I sent you an email with a couple of photos. Ooh, let's have a little look, Jim. Might be able to do it on the screen, actually. Bear with me. I'm not sure if I can get into my emails from here. Might be able to. Who knows? Come on, you can do it. Has it arrived yet? No, I'm not seeing it up. Stay there, laptop. Everything's getting a bit moist and the old laptop's sliding around a bit. Let's see if it's on here. Did you send them to andymechanic@live.co.uk, yeah? This one's refreshing. Let's see if it comes up on here. Not yet. Remind me in 5 minutes. We'll have another look. So, where do we get to? Sheldon, good morning, sir. Good morning, Andy and crew. Thumbs up. So, Sheldon, you'll know exactly what. If you've just joined, you'll know exactly where I am, right? You'll recognise that roller machine. I nearly call it steam. We still call them steam rollers, right? Even though they're not steam powered. Road rollers. There you go. That's probably what it's called. Simon, the good old balloon filled with acetylene. Yes, dangerous. A friend of mine had a haulage company stroke fabrication shop in York, just outside York it was. I won't say the company name or anything like that, but they had a young lad working for them at the time. I wasn't there when this happened, and he was cutting up an old truck chassis just for scrap, just cutting up, acetylene torch, you know, chopping bits up, easy peasy work. And somehow, they don't know how, the acetylene pipe from the acetylene bottle had got a hole in it. It had ruptured, and it was leaking acetylene. And the gas is, I think it's quite heavy, and it got into his overalls, and you know, he didn't know, and then it ignited, and it burnt the lad very, very badly indeed. I can't remember if he died or not, but I mean, obviously I hope he didn't. But it's dangerous stuff. We actually had oxyacetylene in my workshop for the last couple of years before we left the UK. I really didn't want to have it, but needs must. Hey, there's an airplane. I'm going to turn you around. Do you like this? We had an airplane on the last live stream, and you get to have an airplane on this live stream as well. Look at that. See if we can zoom in a little bit. So if you're an airplane fanatic, there is an airplane. I believe it's coming into land. I think the airport is behind where I'm stood. Oh, look at that. I don't mind airplanes as long as I'm not in them. There you go. How often do you get a flyby on a live stream? Well organised, Andy. Thank you. Oh, nearly. Where did we get to? Yeah, so it was a very sad time actually. It affected my mate quite badly. You know, because obviously responsibility and all that, and how did it happen? That was the question. You know, maybe a bit of steel had dropped down on the ground and landed on the pipe and just pierced it a little bit, and the lad didn't know. Sure as hell wasn't leaking before he started. You know, my mate was very good at checking his equipment. the hours. I didn't want to have that kind of gear in my workshop. It was just, I mean, for me it was fine, but when you're employing people and maybe they're not that good at doing what they're doing and not that aware of how dangerous that kind of stuff is, and add a decent amount of oxygen. Jim, terrible. Honestly, you're both as bad as each other, really. Jim Haynes, I sent them 19 hours ago from work last night before leaving. In that case, Jim, sorry, maybe it was further down the list, Jim. Maybe it's gone into the spam. Who knows? Let's have a look. Spammy, spam, spam, unwanted. What the hell? Deleted, junk. Just bear with me, people. Maybe it's in the junk. There! Got it. 2 of them, actually. Just thought you'd like to see anime video keychain in use. I'm just going to read this myself first. A long time. I think I can read this out. So, Jim says, I just thought you would like to see Andy Mechanic vintage keychain in use for a long time on my race track 4-wheeler. It must be my guardian angel versus having a plastic Jesus on the hood to protect me. Sorry, a plastic Jesus on the hood to protect me while working, as it must work. Haven't been hurt yet, as you would say. Cheers, Jim. P.S. was doing my year's maintenance, getting ready for next year. So we've got some pictures to have a look at. Let's have a look at this. Bear with me. Things are a bit slow. Come on, open. Open. Oh, wait, open. Oh, it's got a little line through it. Hang on. There, we'll try this one. It's got a summary by Copilot. What the hell's that? It's not junk. Thank you. Report not junk. Okay. Jim, you're not junk. Okay, so inbox. Where are you? You're there now. Right, now it might let me open the pictures now. It's thinking you were junk. Right, here we go. Look at that. Oh, that's it. Wow, that's a cool machine. Turn you around, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Look at that. Honda. Is that nitrous on the back? You wish, Andy. No, they're fire extinguishers. Very important. And it looks to me like that could be one of our keychains. Nice. Let's see if we can get the other one brought up. Boom, it is. There's not many of those in the world. And look at the work. It's done some work. Look, it's getting some battering. Excellent, Jim. Good job. Look after that, because like I said, there's not many of those around. It really isn't. It's always good to see stuff out in the wild. Really appreciate that. And I've told it now you're not junk anymore, so fingers crossed we'll be all right. Okay, it is starting to mizzle again, so we're on standby for relocation. Hang on a minute. Okay, thank you, Jim. Tessifon. Hello, Andy. How are you doing? When Saturday comes, you come into mind. I'm also happy when hearing about your families. For your information, there is a car in my country museum. A car in my country museum. Its age is around 100 and something. Another airplane. Air New Zealand. Excellent. It's a good place to stop, Andy. Right. Over 100-year-old car. Wow. John Nuttall. Okay, just read this entry into our fire station is included with cafe purchases. So that part is still open then, Andy. I think so. I think they've got a little fire truck area, and there's the cafe, so probably the kids can go and play on the fire truck. I don't know. But obviously they're just ticking over at the moment. I don't know why they're closed down, but I do remember seeing, I think it was on Trade Me, which is like our eBay in New Zealand, a load of vehicles being sold by the museum as well. So that was interesting. Jim Haynes resends it again just now. Thank you, Jim. Got that. Aways Maximid. Hi, Andy. Maximid. Good name, Maximid. Good morning, Aways. Welcome to the Andy Mechanic live stream. Sheldon, a local here, got asked to cut the top off a drum with a plasma cutter. Unbeknown to him, the garage had used the drum to drain a fuel tank, and at some stage, as soon as the plasma arced, up it went. Boom. Blew him across the room. Honestly, being a mechanic is very dangerous, but he should have been aware. You know, you undo the little cap, you have a little sniffy sniff inside, not too, you know, just a ginger sniff, right? Because there can be all sorts of nasty chemicals in there. I remember sniffing into a can once. I was like, oh, what's this? Took the lid off, sniffed into it. Man, I couldn't breathe. It was like paralyzed me. Like 30 seconds, I managed to get my lungs working here. I was only a kid at the time, but Jesus, taught me a lesson. Not good at all. Be super careful. Just a gentle whiff from a distance. Make sure you've got some oxygen. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Blew him across the room. So yeah, always check. You know, I mean, fill it with water first, or swill it out, or whatever you have to do. Jim, Mr. Haynes, I'm the only kid in my block with the keychain. Jim, you'll be the only kid in a huge area with one of those keychains. I think, to be perfectly honest, there was probably, including the ones that I bought, there was probably only 20. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there was a few more, but not very many ever got sold. So exclusive is what that is. Simon, relocating into the roller, it's got a cover on it. That's a good idea. It's stopped raining again now, we're all right. But we will have a look around the roller machine before we go. What time are we on? We're all right, we've got plenty of time. Okay. John, Mr. Nuttall, mate filled the car brake light with acetylene, broke the bulb glass and put it back in, then later watched him leave the forecourt. Boom, the good old days. That's bad, isn't it? You know? Holy crap. That's good trick, but whew, imagine that going off. Sheldon, that's a good one, John. Yes, I think it actually is quite interesting, that one. Not that I'm going to try it, obviously. I don't actually have access to acetylene anymore, so you know, things are probably pretty safe around me. Simon, fill with water, drop a match in and duck. Oh, really? Does that work? Shit. I'm not going to try it though. So next week, we like to talk about what's going to happen next week. Oh, and this week actually. So what happened this week? What did I get up to? So the last live stream was in Queenstown, down that dead end at the building site place. And then I had a great day out with Eloise, actually, really nice day. She planned all sorts of stuff. We did some archery, which was cool because I've not fired bows and arrows fired arrows out of bows for many, many years. We did some like 2-2 rifle shooting, target shooting, which was all right, but it was the old school sights. I'm used to telescopic sights, you know, with all my air rifles and stuff from the UK. So it took me a while to learn exactly how to use them again, and the angle of the gun, and whether you, anyway, it was I got there in the end. I got a couple of bullseyes, and it was only maybe, I don't know, 25 meters. It wasn't very far away. We also did some crazy golf, which was good actually. It was the biggest crazy golf course in New Zealand actually. We got a bit lost, I think we did hole 17 after hole 13, but we then went back and did all the holes, and it was very close competition. I did win, much to Eloise's disappointment, but I think she was about 4. It was about 4 marks between the two of us, so it was pretty close. And then she took me for a walk. I know, up a mountain. Now, Eloise will laugh at this point in time. It wasn't up a mountain, it was up part of a mountain, yes, but not really up all of a mountain. It wasn't really very far at all. It was like a 15-minute hike up and about a 10-minute walk down. I think it was a test to see how Dad could cope with going uphill, because he looks very unfit these days. And the first minute was fine. Minutes 2, minutes 3, minutes 4, and probably minutes 5 were, ooh, really? We have vehicles for this, Ellie, you know, steep hill. But then my body decided, hey, you've got to survive this, and it sort of kicked in a little bit, and it sort of settled down to what we were doing. Plus the gradient, it sort of eased off a little bit, and then we wandered around a lake, and walking back was fine. And in actual fact, much to Eloise's disappointment, I beat her back. Yes, the last sort of 50 yards, I said, I'll race you. And I won. I mean, she didn't run at all, actually. She just let me run. She thought I was going to fall over, actually. And I got to the gate, whatever it was, the climb me over the fence steps. A good 10 seconds before she did. So in my book, that's a win. I won the race up and back down the mountain, Eloise. But no, I think it was a test. She's got plans for me to do other stuff that involves walking. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. So after that, I said, well, we've done what you do up mountains, so let's do what I do up mountains. And she's like, oh, what's that, Daddy? So I said, well, we did notice that there's a ski field down the valley, and there's this switchback gravel road that goes all the way up to the ski field. Now, I know the ski field's closed because it's red hot now and there's no snow, but we could go and have a look, and we get a nice view from the top. I says, oh, I don't like gravel roads. I says, well, we'll be all right. You know, I know what I'm doing. We'll put it in 4-wheel drive, which we didn't, actually. We did it in 2-wheel drive. We'll put it in low ratio, which we didn't. We drove it in high ratio because it's more fun. And yes, we turned off the traction control because traction control is crap on gravel. You can't go around corners properly, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we off we went. There's a couple of gates to open. Eloise was gate person, and she, within a couple of switchbacks, she calmed down. But I tell you know what, there was some really big drop-offs, and there was absolutely nothing to stop you dropping off the side in some places. And then we got all the way up to the top. It was about 12, maybe 14 kilometers drive, and we were climbing all the way. It was great. And we got there, got parked up, and the car park, one edge of the car park was just a cliff edge. There was no fence, there was no dirt berm. It was just car park, cliff. Now, knowing what I know about New Zealand drivers, some numpty, especially when it's snowy, don't forget, because you're going to get that sort of that extra bit of snow sticking out, which you're going to think is car park, but actually is just clinging on snow. There must have been cars that have reversed up to the edge of the car park and just gone off the edge, and it was 50-meter drop. You know, it wasn't perfectly vertical, but man, it was very, very steep. And if you took a car down there, it'd be a fair ride, especially in reverse. But I didn't see. I was looking for bits of wreckage of cars in the grass, but there wasn't any. Maybe they picked it all up. I don't know. But somebody bound to have gone off the end of there. Anyway, we did that. I did a bit of a walk around. We found. Oh, hang on. I did take some pictures actually. Bear with me. See if I can find a picture for you. Flies. Oh, here we go. Yes. And I've got my shirt on. Look at that. I've even got my Andy Mechanic shirt on. So it's very, very themed. One of those, like a snowcat thing, with the bulldozer on. We were looking at all the tracks, and I was talking to Eloise through it. She really enjoyed that, actually. Really enjoyed it. And that was another picture. That's Eloise. That was another picture in the car park looking out across the top, because we were very high up. It was pretty cool. And that's That's a close-up shot of Ellie in front of the machine. It looked quite new, actually. It was really cool piece of kit. I'd love to have a drive of one of those somewhere, but who knows? One day, maybe. Where do we get to? So I was telling you what I was doing, wasn't I? So yeah, that was the Sunday, and then we got, after the thingy, we had to race back to Queenstown. I mean, obviously driving sensibly, company car and all that. There was some Sunday drivers out, I must admit, slowing us up. Anyway, got back to Queenstown, and then we went out for a nice meal at Madame Wu's. Very nice, actually. Good restaurants. Been there a few times. Really nice. And then we got finished, I think about 9-ish we got finished. And then on the Monday, I had 2 visits to do, because normally I would just do one. I was sort of just pacing myself that week. But I did 2 on the Monday because I had to have the Tuesday free, because then on the Tuesday I had to drive all the way back down to Gore, which is south. It's a lot south of Queenstown, because the on-farm stuff that I was going to do Thursday afternoon I had to cancel because it was blowing a gale. I think I told you on the live stream, it was really, really windy and there was lots of rain, so there's no way I could go up the mountain in that weather on a quad bike. So I rescheduled for the Tuesday, did that, that was really good. And then drove north to Timaru, and we got to Timaru about, I think about 7:30 in the evening. It wasn't too late, which was good. Could have been worse. So that was Tuesday done. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had more visits to do. So I had a motorcycle shop in Timaru to go to. I then had a motorcycle shop in Ashburton to go to. And then I had a motorcycle shop in Christchurch to go to on the Friday. And then Friday night went out for a meal with the people that run the motorbike shop that I went to on the Friday. And then yesterday had the day off, which was really, really cool. I enjoyed it, actually. It was just, I wanted to just have the day off, chill out, recover a little bit from all the driving, because it's a bit of an intensive drive home with the late ferry crossing and stuff. So it's all about just, you know, I'm only doing it for work. I don't have to bust a gut doing it. And I've got certain, well, very strict driving hours to adhere to. We're not allowed to drive after the 8th hour of work. That's non-negotiable. However, I will be tonight, because I've got to drive to Picton, get on the ferry. The ferry's 3.5, 4 hours, plus there's an hour's wait before you set off to load and things. And then I've got an hour's drive from 10:30 to 11:30 tonight. But I will have rested on the ferry. That's my argument, anyway. And I think truck drivers can do that kind of stuff. So I think because of that, it still, you know, meets the requirements. Sometimes you just got to bend the rules a little bit, haven't you? Where do we get to? Right, hang on, bear with me. John, not all brake cleaner is as good, Andy lol. Yes, I remember doing some little like sort of segue shots, transition shots we call them in the industry, and one of them is one of my stickers with Holly on it, so the logo that you see at the start of the videos in the bottom left hand corner, you know, as a sticker, and I stuck it on some metal and spread it in brake cleaner and lit it. And the first time I did it, man, I used way too much brake cleaner. Yes, a bit concerned I was going to set the workshop on fire, actually, because I wasn't too sure how flammable it was going to be, and it was actually very flammable. But it didn't give off a lot of heat. It was just lots of flame, but not a lot of heat, which was good. So yes, we try that. Sheldon, remarkable ski field. No, it wasn't. It was one outside Wanaka, up the valley from there. Eloise would know, but I don't think we took a picture of the ski field. I might have taken a picture of the sign at the start, actually. Yeah. So that was the gate at the start. There, look, it's got a particular symbol out on that plate. Do the warning signs help? Man, they do like their warning signs. Look at that. Many, many, many warning signs going on that gravel road. Thou shalt not do anything other than be careful, basically, is what that means. Oh, there's the archery, look. Took a picture of the archery. Nice. Did well on the archery. Did a lot better than I thought, actually. Yeah, look. You see that? That's pretty good. That was from like maybe 20 meters, actually. It was quite easy. It wasn't like the stuff I used to do in England at school. Because I did archery at school as well, which is cool. There. That gives you an idea of the distance. So whatever that ends up being. It was pretty good. I really had a really nice day with Eloise. So I don't know where the ski field was. I forgot the name of it, but next time I speak to Ellie, I'll find out and let you know. Treble cone, yes. Another airport. Literally, the airport must be just over there because they are very low. Yes, treble cone rings a bell. Remember Eloise pointing out the names of the peaks around that area, and she did mention the name treble cone. So yeah, well done. That's what it is. Sorted. So, ferry. I think we've covered the Taupo bit, so I've got to drive, yes, on, I think we've done all of it, haven't we? We've done what I did last week, out on the Sunday, done what I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday day off, Sunday, here we are, doing the live stream, and pick up an e-bike, and then off to Picton, so that we've covered it all. You know what I'm doing. Although next week, Tuesday I'm taking off, because I'm owed loads of days in lieu from this trip. I've been working every day near enough. So Tuesday's a day in lieu. Wednesday, Thursday is admin from home. Got lots of admin to do, lots of following up to do. And then Friday is another day in lieu, because I have to take days in lieu within 2 weeks of the day, which sometimes isn't possible, but you do your best. So I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, which would be great. And then that next week, Monday I drive up to Auckland. I'm in Auckland all week, working at head office and running around picking things up. And then the following, I'm obviously at home at the weekend. And then the next 2 days, the Monday, Tuesday after that, which there'll be a live stream, I'm sure, before then. A day's in lieu again. So I'm not working that week before Christmas, which would be nice. So I can start to do my side port. Got lots to do outside. I've got plenty of timber, plenty of nuts and bolts and things, so we need to get that sorted out. God's sake. John Nuttall, what a laugh. Do you remember this guy, Jeff Dunham? Yes, yeah, I've seen some of his videos. Good bloke. Simon was laughing so hard with the last Just a Fish video. Yes. Yes, I'm pleased you watched it. Mrs. Mechanic finally got it all edited up, and I did the thumbnail for her while I was away. We have a little shared Google folder that she puts pictures in, and I make them into thumbnails for her. So that takes a bit of pressure off. It doesn't take me long. And then she could get it out. And it was great. I think I've watched about 2/3 of it so far. Yes. No, I've watched all of it now. I watched it all, and then I also watched, she put one out which was a walking one with Eloise, which was pretty cool. There was bits of video in it, but a lot of it was photos and music and text and things. She did quite a good, I think she did a great job, but far better edited than I could do. Yes. All I will say is, as we get further south, and especially once we get into the South Island, those videos will change tremendously. There's so much stuff went wrong, and we had so many problems in the South Island to overcome. I think we'll be on the edge of your seat in some bits, to be fair. Connor K, if it's a Boeing, I'm not going. Now, that was said by Connor. I don't want to get sued by Boeing because they're a big company. But I hear you, Connor. If it's a Boeing, I'm not going. JJ, with your busy schedule, don't forget Christmas is just around the corner, lol. I know. I've got to sort out Christmas presents and that kind of thing for family and other people. But yeah, I'm going to be spending most of Christmas building another carport, which was called the side port, which goes on the side of the workshop, and it'll double the roof size. Basically, it turns what is currently a flat roof into an apex roof, a pitched roof, like that, you know. I think it's about a 4-degree slope on it. The big posts are already set. I've just got to chop them all to the same level, and then I can start putting my beams in bits and pieces and bolting it all up. So we've done sort of the hardest bit, which is set the posts, and they are in line, which is nice. So hopefully by the time I go back to work in January, all the beams will be in place, and then we'll be ready for putting sort of rafters. I never know what they're called. Simon always tells me what they're called. The bits that go perpendicular to the main beams, and then the tin goes on, screws down to those. We've still got all the brackets to make, all the L brackets to do all that. So that'll keep it. That'll be a day and a half's work for us doing those. We've got plenty to do, but the point is, we've got the timber in stock now, so we can crack on and do it. We got that bought about a month ago, just over a month ago, which is good. But yeah, we'll probably take Christmas Day off. Maybe, we'll see. I'd rather be out there on the tools building stuff. It's far more productive than sat watching telly and drinking and eating all the time. Simon had a van problem today. Alternator pulley decided to get divorced from the alternator. The van did well, 30 miles on the battery, and it's still got power to start. That's pretty. It's busy, isn't it? It's a busy little flight path, this. It's probably not the best place to be fair. Yeah, we used to often get the little Suzukis with the alternators would fail, or if the fan belt came off, that was a problem because there was no cooling because the water pump wasn't being driven. But if the alternator went down, we just used to chuck another battery on them and send them on the way, and we'd sort out the alternator problem, back in the workshop. And they'd last quite a while. We used to tell the customers, don't stop starting the engine, just leave it running, otherwise every time you start it, it's using more juice. But we did put much bigger upgraded batteries on the Jeeps for that very reason. Very cool. So you know what I did last week, you know what I'm going to be doing next week, and to be fair, all the way up to Christmas, and what I'm going to be doing over Christmas as well. The next live stream, I'm going to take a week off, so there won't be one next Sunday. There'll be one the Sunday after. So we're on the 8th now. Next Sunday will be the 15th. 15th. So 22nd is probably about it. Sunday the 22nd. Yes, the Sunday before Christmas we'll have a live stream, and I'll be in the workshop for that one, most definitely. Right, now you wanted a quick sneaky peek at the roller, so let's go and do that before we sign off. Turn you around, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, we're going around. It's very cool, isn't it? Now, what did I notice earlier on? There's some damage, yes. I don't think that is supposed to be bent down like that. I think it's supposed to be out here. Maybe a towing point or something. I don't know. It's a bit iffy, but it definitely shouldn't be bent like that. And what I thought was really interesting down here, I was looking at the drive chain, and it doesn't. The camera's going mental. A half link. Look at that. I only ever seen a half link before on a motorcycle chain. Not on a chain this big, and this is probably, I don't know, 3 inches across on the pin. Pretty cool. In fact, very cool. In fact. And to adjust the chain. Here, look. Yeah, you undo these big nuts. Here, look. Operation is locked. It's very upset is my phone now. Yeah, so there you go. Very cool. I think it's been here a while, don't you? And I'm pretty sure this lever's got bent. I'm pretty sure it should have something off here. Yes, it has. Something's broken off. It's some kind of bit that goes across, and it'll sit in these little lugs, which are also very worn now as well, on this ratchet system to hold position. And the seat looks very uncomfortable. Look at the steering wheel on it. Wow. And all you've got is, by the looks of it, is one pedal, which is the go pedal. I imagine that this probably is forwards and backwards, I would think, given where that lever goes, basically into the gearbox. Although it has got some numbers on there. You see how it... Oh, the spider cobwebs. See, it says number 1 there, and then 2 on that corner, and 3 over there. So, I don't know. I mean, this lever only goes forwards and backwards. It doesn't go sideways. I don't know what's going on there. Unless there's something missing. Yes, there's a shaft there, look, and it's got a keyway. So maybe there's something... Maybe that's your gear change, this shaft. And this, I think, will be forwards and backwards, this one. And that will be your handbrake. Not sure what that is. Some kind of engagement, maybe. And disengagement, but I don't know what that is. No idea. Somebody might know what that is. And it looks like he sat on the fuel tank. Yep, sat on the fuel tank. Best thing ever. And that will be where the engine is, under there, which we can't get into, and I'm not going to start digging around the bushes. That wouldn't be very good. But I like the roof. It's very... The curvature's still very much like a steam engine type of steamroller roof, isn't it? And everything's massively engineered. It's so heavy. What's down there? So look, can we get on there? Of course we can. Some kind of inspection-y thing there. Oh, you do get wood on the seat. That's nice. Yeah, let's put you over there. Look, you can see there's a thread going down. I know, I've seen the guys with the steam engines with those kind of wheels there, and they have to spin them really fast one direction and then the other, but I thought that was to do with steering. This has obviously got a steering wheel, so it's not to do with steering on this one. Interesting stuff though, isn't it? Pretty cool. And there's a little down here, there's a spring-loaded scraper to scrape all the crap off the rear wheels, look. Yeah. Some of it's quite foreign to me, is this kind of stuff, because I never really worked on this kind of stuff. Obviously that pivots at that point there, look, so that the front can do that. For undulating terrain. And by the looks of it, there's a grease nipple on there, look. Yeah. Oh, and it's got another one that's bent. Maybe they're not bent. Maybe they're designed to be like that then. Maybe something connects to them. Where you get a bolt vertically and a bolt horizontally. It just looks oddly bent. That one looks a lot more bent than this one. Like it shouldn't be bent. And obviously you've got your big steering head bearings here, look. Look at the size of that. My hand on that, that must be 10 inches across there. Huge. And of course down there there'll be another massive bearing under there as well. Very cool though. It's a shame somebody's stolen the badge off the front. There'll have been a big badge on there. They've just ground the screws off, look. They've stolen the badge. Oh yeah, and there's another grease nipple up there, like you see. Got to keep greasing those bearings, lads. Oh, there he is. Another one. Right, turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we got to have a little wander around the bits of the road roller. There's people running now. What the hell? Far too energetic doing that kind of thing these days. Had a bit of a run around the steamroller, the road roller. Interesting stuff. I do like that kind of thing. Although I don't really know too much about them. Where we get to Simon, how did that done that one? Jim Haynes. That spout on the roof, sorry, that spout on the front is usually for water to keep the drum clean. Same as spray bar on the back wheel, which is normal on rollers for pavement. Yes, yeah, I've seen them do that. They do wet the wheels, don't they? Stops the tar or whatever it is. You know, usually it's tar that they're on, and it bitumen stops it sticking to the wheels. Connor K. Always like the look of those big steam engines with the big flywheel on the side. it could be used to power as a PTO. That's what you could run a belt off it onto whatever you wanted and power it. It was really, really versatile. Very good. Okay, crew, we are exactly 1 hour in the live stream. That's exactly how long I planned the live stream to be, because Andy's got shit to do as always. So thank you very much for watching. It's been quite cool, this location. It was just pure chance. As I was driving past, I thought, well, where should I stop and do the live stream? Because the further I was getting away from Christchurch, the worse the internet was going to be, obviously. And I spotted the old road roller, and I thought, I know where I am. Click, we'll go and do it down there. There's a bit of a story in that location. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you all very much for taking the time to join in. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks' time in the workshop just before Christmas, the 22nd of December, 8:30 a.m. next live stream. Okay, crew, until then, thank you all for all your help and your support. I'll see you next time. Cheers, over and out.